Hey guys, welcome back to Standard Time. In our last video we spoke about the Submariner, so today we've got to cover the Oyster Perpetuals. Many different colors, that's the theme here. And they've gotten rid of the 39mm watch, which I think is really sad, because I always thought that the 39mm Oyster Perpetual was the perfect size and the perfect entry watch. It's not necessarily entry, but in terms of price point, it is. So 39mm I think works for most people, especially on that style watch. It's not a dress watch, but it has the case and the dimensions of a dress watch, so it does not wear particularly small. So I think 41mm is too close to the 41mm Datejust that they've had for years, and that thing's colossal on the wrist. It's styled like a dress watch. It is a dress watch, and it wears really large for 41mm. So it's not something that, it's not even like a sub. It wears larger than a sub essentially because of the case design. Now you've got that flat slab kind of case on the Oyster Perpetuals, and likewise the Datejust. So 41mm and just a 3-hander. That's quite plain looking on the wrist. So you have a lot of, well, dial real estate that's quite empty, and that I think makes the watch seem a little less sophisticated. So I'm kind of disappointed that they got rid of the 39, but they have the 36, and I think it's not really meant to be a big watch. It's meant to slide under the cuff, so that doesn't make too much sense there. But okay, 36 is still there, so that's not too disappointing, I guess. We've got the typical black, orange. We've got this light pink dial that I really like. I think that's my favorite of the watches, although I haven't seen them in person, so the colors always look vastly different in person. So I'm sure the other colors probably looked really good too. But off the bat, I think this light pink dial is going to be very popular. Everyone who liked the white Oyster Perpetual that they now discontinue, that's also very disappointing, because I think that was one of the hottest watches in the stainless steel and just in general. I think the white dial 39mm Oyster Perpetual was, I think, the most classy piece, and it's been the most sought after piece in the last few years, because the prices on that have been going up, and that was when it was available. Because when I did walk into an AD asking about a 39mm white OP, they did not have one in stock. This was a year ago, so that's a fantastic watch, and it's been very successful. It's quite disappointing that they chose to discontinue that, but I think everyone who wanted that would go for this light pink sort of dial. We've got a dark blue, nothing special there. We have a light blue. I think that's a very interesting choice also. These two are kind of pastel colors, so that they're not rich, but that kind of sets them apart from the rest of the line. I've seen a lot of people talking about the orange and yellow dials, and people really liking that, and some people are betting on the green one being extremely successful because green bezel on the Submariner, Kermit's always done well previously, the Hulk is going to skyrocket, so green's kind of the go-to color now, but I think the pastel ones might be nicer. Yellow's also nice. I mean, a lot of fantastic colors. I think they used the new kind of silver dial with the gold styled indices. I think that's supposed to replace the white, but I don't think it really does that. I'm happy that they have the new colors, and I'd rather that they have the new colors than have just the bland ones and the white OP. So if that's the trade-off to be made, I'm glad, but they did not need to do that. They could have just kept the white OP, which is disappointing. Not everyone wants a green or a flashy colored dial on their, a lot of the times could be their first watch and could be their one watch collection. This is one of those ideal pieces, so I think this is supposed to be more of a fun release, and maybe more of an addition that people who already have other really fancy watches just add to their collection because it's snazzy, I guess. That is interesting. It's good that they're doing this. I know they don't want to experiment with these kind of colors with their more expensive sort of pieces like the other stainless steel ones, mainly the Datejust, the Submariners. They do have some variations on the Datejust, and they do change them from time to time, but I think this is their bottom piece, so they don't really mind experimenting, and that's nice. Maybe it's meant to appeal to the younger generations because it's also less expensive and more in reach, I guess. So I'm happy with the new watches. Disappointed about the white OP. A lot of people will be, I'm sure. And 39 was a fantastic size. I don't know. I don't get that really. Maybe certain markets. I think the Asian market generally prefers larger dials. I think maybe they're trying to appeal to that. But 39, 41, they're pretty close, but I don't see the buyer for 39 going for 41. I could see it the other way. Someone wanting a 41 is okay with a 39. So that's a bit disappointing. But 36 is still there. I think if people really wanted something smaller, I think that would be okay. I think that's an okay size for the majority of people. What do you guys think about this piece? I think it's quite fun. I think one thing I didn't mention is the movement. It's got the same movement as the Submariner, the 32, I think 30 on this one, because it doesn't have a date complication, and the 3235 was the one with the date on the Submariner. So fantastic movement upgrade at the bottom of the range piece, I think. So that just brings up the value so much more for this Oyster Perpetual, and I'm glad they did that. So anyone buying this piece should be really happy with what they're getting for their money, essentially. Maybe this will be quite hyped and become hard to get, which should not be the case. I hopefully think it's not, but they've got a lot of dial options, so one of them will always probably be available in the size that you want. So at least there's that. Let us know what you think about this piece. Are you disappointed about the change from 39 to 41? I think most people are, and tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you guys next video. Cheers.